Hi, I'm Rich Miller. At Virtua, we believe citizens need to be informed about the important healthcare issues affecting their lives. That's why we're proud to support healthcare programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Virtua, Bloomfield College, offering small classes and big opportunities since 1868. PSC&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Cone Resnick, Accounting, Tax, and Advisory, where forward thinking creates results. Fedway Associates, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Welcome to One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. Listen, I love doing this show, but I love it even more when we have someone I'm a huge fan of, and here he is right here. Federico Castelluccio. He's a painter, he's an actor, he's a director, he's an artist. He's going to talk about his art, but you know him also from his work on The Sopranos. He played Furio.
Furio Giunta.
Yeah, yeah. What a wonderful role, what a wonderful artist you are. I want to thank you. You honor us by being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's an honor to be here. Really, this is like my old stomping ground.
Tell everyone about, we were just talking before we got
Yes.
here, your Patterson, we're taping in beautiful Patterson, New Jersey, your Patterson connection.
Absolutely. Well, I was born in Naples, Italy. I came here in 1968. I was like 3.5 with my family. I came here and grew up like in walking distance from this studio on 21st Ave, Patterson. Wow. And what was interesting, you know, we talked a little bit about Sopranos before. Yeah. I wound up doing a scene where my character gets shot right on 21st Ave, right where they found a location in Patterson on 21st Ave where my character winds up getting shot. And that wasn't a mistake. I found out later on. It was one of our locations managers that found out that I grew up there and then found that location. It's still there. It's a coffee shop, you know, cafe they call it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We'll come back and talk about it a little bit
Absolutely.
later. Do you mind if we talk about your artwork?
I would love to, yeah. Let's talk about that.
You've been an artist all the way back.
Yeah.
Was that your first love?
My first love, absolutely.
When?
Ever since I can remember. When I was in Italy, my first inspiration, I guess, was my brother and my sister. You know, I watched them draw and paint, and I would get very excited watching them. And I knew that there was something in me at the time that had to come out as well. Even at that very young age, very early age, it was very, you know, visual. I mean, I remember the light coming in from different parts of the house that we lived in Naples, and the type of doorknob it was, this type of doorknob. You know, it's really a very visual childhood, very visual memory I have of my childhood.
You saw things and saw things differently than you think other children did that made it clear to you that art, listen, I didn't see things that way growing up in Newark. I just saw a doorknob. I didn't see that, so yeah. I know I wasn't an artist. Did you know that you had to express yourself differently?
I think so. I think I maybe didn't know how to express it as a child, but I knew that someday I would be living my life as an artist, as a painter, and probably other things as well.
And describe your education in connection with art.
My education, I studied at, well, I went to high school at Passaic County Tech. Now, I don't know, they changed the name so many times, I don't know what it's called now. But anyway, they
technical school.
Technical school, right. But they had a fantastic art program. And from that point, I kind of built a portfolio and wound up winning a scholarship to the School of Visual Arts in New York City.
Great school.
It's a fantastic school, and I really got a lot out of it. I mean, I learned the basics and, you know, of humanities, and also drawing techniques and painting techniques and things that I already had an innate talent to start with, but that kind of helped me develop it even further.
Did you say to yourself, I'm going to make a career out of this?
Yes, I did. Yes. Early on I did, and there was a fleeting moment where I wanted to be an auto mechanic.
In the
Don't
middle,
ask
hold
me
on,
why,
wait a minute.
man. Don't ask me why.
In the middle of all this.
In the middle of all that.
Did you love cars?
I loved cars, yeah, I loved cars, but I was also building model cars. You know, when we were kids, we
Yeah.
were building model cars, and I found out that I was actually painting them better than I built them. So, you know, I said that was just a fleeting moment of a thought that I, you know.
Okay, well, we do not have pictures of your model cars, but
No,
we do have
you
pictures
don't.
of some of your art. Okay?
Sure.
As we
sure,
put up some of
please.
your artwork, could you talk to us about it?
Of course. This is in my studio. I'm working with one source lighting on my subject and also on my paints. And I'm doing a memento mori here, which is a
memento mori.
Memento mori. It's known in the Renaissance and in the Baroque period as a reminder of our mortality, that you know, everything is here now, and so you basically make the best of it. You know, live life to the fullest.
And this.
This is very interesting. This is this was
Big smile on your face. Why?
Yeah, no, this because in 2012 I decided to do a narrative through a still life, and if you look at this, this was called "Out with the Red, In with the Black," and it was basically a statement on our economy. If you look at the dollar bill, it's pointing down, a triangle, and then you have this butterfly that's very tenuous and can fly away at any moment if we want it to, and then there's a very solid arrowhead that's made out of probably onyx, and that is pointing straight upward. Hopefully, in the hopes that that our economy would get better. And then the coins on the bottom. Most people say, what do the coins mean? Well, basically, it's the date. I dated it with the coins, 2012, and there's a penny on the center, on the bottom, in the shadow.
Are you political in your art?
Not really. No, but every once in a while, something gets to me, and then I maybe answer it through my paintings.
Interesting.
Basically, this is a whimsical, it's a trompe-l'oeil. Basically, how I work is from life. Everything that I do is...
Trump, you can't use these expressions that I don't know.
Okay, it's a French term for trompe-l'oeil, meaning fool the eye. And
fool the eye.
Fool the eye. Basically, this is flat objects on a flat surface kind of create an illusion of three-dimensionality. And this is what you have here. That painting is on canvas. It's not on wood. I mean, I actually painted the wood grain,
right,
and the cartellino in the bottom. Kind of, it's kind of I'll tell you the title of it. It's called Pointer, because of the dog. And you have the dog pointing in one direction and the hand pointing in the other direction. I like using humor as well in my work.
And we're about to transition to a fascinating story that you've been living. The artist that means a great deal to you, that is connected to this very powerful experience in your life. Mm-hmm. Who is that as you begin to transition to this story that is so unbelievable?
Okay, there are many painters from the Baroque period, but one in particular is Giovanni Francesco Barbieri, called Il Guercino, the Squinter. The reason why they call him
Il
the
Guercino.
Il Guercino.
Il Guercino.
In Italian, guercio means to squint, and that was a very kind way of saying that he had a cross eye.
Yes.
So his one eye was crossed, probably from a sickness when he was in early age. His dates were from 1591 to 1666, and he was a favorite of mine over the years. And when I was studying art, I wound up doing a paper on him as well. And anywhere I went in the world, wherever it was, I would find a museum or a church or a cathedral that had Guercino's paintings in them.
And you're in Germany, what happens?
Well, I'm in Germany. What happens is I'm visiting the Städel and many art galleries that Yvonne, my better half, was taking me around. She's German, and I went to meet her family. And so we're driving by this little, what looked like a little antique shop, but it was actually an auction house. And I said, stop the car. We went in. They allowed us to come in, take a look around. The place was actually closing down for the evening, and they were setting up for their next exhibit or next auction. And so the gentleman said, sure, go upstairs, maybe take a look at a few paintings. And on the landing, before I went to the second floor, there are these paintings stacked up against each other. And one of them, when I pulled the paintings in front of me, was by this master. In my opinion, the second I saw this painting, I recognized the master immediately, even though it was covered with years of yellowing varnish and campaigns of restoration and overpaint. Now, this is not just by happenstance. I mean, it is happenstance that I walked into the place and found the painting, but to identify the painting when it was in that condition, it it's not very easy, and a lot of experts have told me that over the years.
Who is that artist?
That is Giovanni Francesco Barbieri,
Did you
Il
know it?
Guercino.
He-
In a split second. I turned to Yvonne and I said, this is by Guercino. This painting is by Guercino. And I asked the gentleman there that, that was working there, I asked him what he knew about the painting.
Right.
And, he basically said it was 18th century, which was not correct.
Is not correct?
It was 17th century, 100 years earlier.
That's right.
And that it was cut down. The painting was not cut down because that is called a half-length format, which is just below the waist.
And by the way, getting your hands on it was
Yes.
not easy.
Not easy, no. I was trying to buy it from the guy right off the bat, but he said, no, we just signed a consignment form with the owner, and
Didn't want to give it
it's
away.
got to go in. They didn't want to give it away. Every auction house thinks that they might have something great, but this was marked at 1,000 to 1,500 euros. And if they knew that this was by Guercino, that would not be the estimate.
What'd you wind up paying for it?
49,000 euros, equivalent to about 70,000 in that time period.
So,
With a partner, by the way.
70 grand.
Yes.
So, what do we find out about it?
Well, we found out that
Its value.
not only its value is valued in the millions. I don't know exactly how much, but it is definitely valued in the millions.
Did you know it? Did you sense that
I knew it was an important. I really didn't think about the monetary value at
Yeah.
the time. I was thinking more about. I can't believe that I own a Guercino. It's like, when I was growing up and going to school and studying,
Yeah.
I would go to museums and I would look at these paintings on the wall. And if I would get too close, they would yell at me for getting too close. But as a painter, I wanted to see the technique and how they did it. So now I'm allowed to get very close.
Beautiful.
To these paintings.
Before I let you out of here, real quick,
Yes.
the film.
Film, Lily of the Feast. Yes. I added another discipline to my life, like I need something else,
Right.
Which is directing. I've been writing and directing since 2006. This is my first feature film. I've done other short films that have won awards. This is my first feature film and has some wonderful actors in it. Paul Sorvino is in it. David Proval, who played Richie Aprile in Sopranos. There he is. That's David.
There he is.
And a wonderful actor that a lot of people don't know. His name is Troy Garrity. He plays the lead in it. He is Jane Fonda's son, a phenomenally gifted, talented actor.
It's about the mob 1973 in Brooklyn?
1973 in Brooklyn, that's right. That's right. It revolves around a banker, and his father-in-law is a knockaround guy, sort of gets him embroiled in a scheme to steal $60,000 from the boss in the area.
A knockaround guy, meaning he's not in, but he's
Right.
hanging around.
That's right, but he makes his bones, and there's a really
Understood.
great twist at the end.
And this is independent, and we can
Independent.
expect to hear more about it in the future?
That's right. Writer Michael Risigliano, phenomenal writer. Everything starts in the writing, as you know.
Last question.
Yep.
James Gandolfini.
Oh, my God. What can I say, man? He was a gentleman.
Why that reaction?
Why? Because I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that Jim is gone. And, he was one of the most generous people that I've ever met, on and off screen. He cared about all of the people working next to him, more so than he did about himself. He was just a phenomenal person, and he's greatly missed. I miss him every day. Can't pick up the phone anymore and call him.
We very much appreciate you taking the time to be with us. And
Thank you.
you're a great guest, and consider yourself a friend of our show, a friend
Oh.
of PBS.
Thank you so much.
Stay right
it's
there.
really a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
One-on-one will continue right after this. Thank you.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD. And follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes for everybody. For everybody. As the legend grows. Start to disappear. Something you can't find. Time to be larger than life.
You were just seeing a clip from The Hereafter, and we have the creative team here, Vinnie Favale and Frankie Keane. By the way, do you mind if I say that Vinnie Favale is Vice President of CBS Late Night Programming on the East Coast? Is
You
that
just
true?
said it. Oh my God, I can't stop you. Yes.
admit that.
Yeah, well,
She
You don't
Right
mind if I do that, right?
Yes, I am that. East Coast.
Frankie, you were right in there?
Pardon?
You were in there too?
Yeah,
You're not just part of the creative team, you're in it.
I'm in it, yeah.
What is Hereafter?
What is Hereafter? Oh my God. Vinny, you tackle this one.
It's
What is it?
It's about 2 hours long. No, it's a beautiful show that takes place one afternoon. Three women trying to reconcile losses in their lives are kind of like they're lost. You know, religion's not doing it for them. They've been on these various journeys to try to get the answers, and they find themselves at the home of a psychic, putting all their hopes and dreams on that one guy.
And the inspiration for it comes from?
It comes from both of our losses, actually. I had met Vinny via phone, and we ended up on the phone for about 3 hours.
I found Frankie on Backstage.com because I was looking for. I had the rough
Shameless
version of this idea, and I was looking for singers and actors. I didn't think I was looking for a partner. I thought I was going to do this on my own. And
Tell them how you narrowed it down.
I narrowed it down to my criteria was here I am. I live and work. I work in New York. I have nothing but major talent available to me, and to me it had to be Jersey. It was like it had to be Jersey because I needed it to work with my commute. So I discounted the complete pool of talent. But Frankie was one of the people that came up, and it was an instant connection because. I didn't know when I called her that she had lost her mom when she was a young girl, and she had lost 2 siblings.
And you had
I had lost 2 siblings when I was
father.
younger, and my dad had recently passed away. But
and this young man, DJ
Wheeler was a complete stranger.
Tell everyone who that is.
DJ Wheeler died in 2003, Middletown, New Jersey. I didn't know him. I read about it in the paper. It's that sad story you
Is
read
that a
about.
picture of DJ? Wow.
There's DJ, who now I've since become close. That's his mom, Joanna. I read in the paper that the car he was in lost control. He was a passenger, hit a tree. Everyone walked away except for DJ. Didn't know him at the time, but I drove by the tree the next day. I just happened to be in the neighborhood, and it was like, and the memorial's still there, the roadside memorial. You see it all the time, and it just rekindled a lot of my losses because he left behind 2 sisters, and I was relating to it more in a sibling kind of a loss as opposed to related to his mom, and it just triggered a song. I wrote a song called 19, which is still in the show. It survived all the changes, and so I just had this rough idea, and when I met Frankie, she responded to the material so powerfully in a way that I was like, wow, this is. I told my wife, I was like, this is amazing. I'm looking forward to working with her. We started working on the music, and she had so many ideas. I'm like, oh,
What did you respond to?
You know, it's funny because Vinny is not a musician, and yet he comes up with such amazing stuff, and he kind of let me, you know, use all the voices in my head, and there's several, so I got to really explore and arrange the songs the way I heard them, and he liked it.
Loved it.
Loved it, thank you. And so it was a very cathartic experience in so many ways because I got to use my gifts to really do something that I had never done. I've done musical theater, but I didn't come to New York to do musical theater. And so I really learned so much about, you know, the craft of really creating and making a song, you know, something that...
And telling a story. I
That
mean,
can
that's the
tell
other...
a
it was
story.
never-
Is the story Hereafter all about grief? Is it all about death?
No.
It's actually, I would say it's more about life. It's
How so?
more... Well, you know, when these women go to see the medium, their lives have stopped because they are unable to move on in their life because of their loss.
stuck?
They're stuck. They're absolutely stuck. And so are
Yeah.
the spirits.
Yeah,
The
you
great
get
thing
to
about
meet
the show
spirits.
is what mitigates what sounds like could be a sad show is the fact that the audience sees the spirits. The spirits materialize in a very logical, organical way through a flashback. So there's a mother who's lost her son 30 years ago, and she talks about him, and then, you know, the flashback, and he's in his room, and they have a wonderful conversation. You see the mom in happier times. And then when the flashback ends, real time picks up the action, and the spirit lingers, and only the audience sees them. So you see this person who's dead, he's full of life. And they're all stuck, and you discover the spirits are stuck too.
In fact, I got to ask you something. You're performing in front of these audiences every night at the Snapple Theater.
Right.
Yes.
Located at?
Broadway and 50th.
Not a bad location.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you see in those audiences every night?
Yeah, that's such what a question. I see so many things. I see a lot of men, actually. Women are a lot more in touch with their emotions. They're okay in that kind of a forum to be expressive with how they feel. Men generally try and remain the strong one, and I see men literally lose it. Like they are holding back, and then I see them finally just give in. And it's
So
really
what?
powerful.
What are they giving into?
They're giving into, I think, a lot of emotional needs that society doesn't necessarily embrace a man crying in public.
What are they reacting to?
I think they're reacting to,
the big moment in the show
the big
when-
moment in the show, but they're also, I think it taps into personal loss for everyone, not just men, but personal loss for everybody.
Which we all have.
Yeah, everybody has it. I mean,
Even,
well, most everyone
even if
does,
it's a
yeah.
friend who's not passed, someone that you haven't talked to in a long time,
Sure.
an estrangement.
Vinnie, we all, because I know this about you only by reading about you, and I've also been a fan of yours for your other life that you don't talk about much. Your relationship with, what's the guy's name?
Howard
Calls
Stern.
himself the king of...
The king of all media.
He still is.
Yes, he
always
still
will
is,
be.
actually. Yeah.
The Muhammad Ali of the media. You are obsessed in a healthy way about the afterlife. You think about it, you talk about it a lot. My question, do you think we're all looking for, most of us are looking for a way to deal with it?
Yes. And sometimes death takes a holiday in our lives. Like
Holiday.
It's a wonderful thought, sentiment. Like when I hadn't experienced death in a long time. Like my brother's, the last significant death in my family before I wrote the show was 1970. It felt like my world was ending when I lost my brothers, right? That was like 1977, right? So now you have like a good 20 years of passing. It's like, okay, we're kind of figuring out our way, how to get through. And then my mother-in-law passed, which was a big moment in my life because here a woman I love just lost her mom. I mean, I was sad for myself, I was sad for her. And then, oh, it's back again, you know? So I think we think about it, but we tuck it in the back of our memory bank. And then it comes back, you know, 9/11 was this collective, like, that was the one time I actually felt that the people in my life that had passed were the lucky ones. I just felt like such horror. It felt like I was so thankful that my brothers didn't see that because I was scared.
So in some way, we're about to show a clip from you that really brings back memories. With all the loss that we experienced and the loss that we'll continue to experience, not to mention our fear of our own death.
Right.
And anticipation of what that may be like and all the issues that we deal with that. For you, what has this done for you, given the loss that you've had? You lost your mom.
I lost I've lost 3 moms and 2 brothers. I mean, I've always had a strong faith, so I've never, you know, I feel pretty confident that when I die, I know where I'm going, hopefully.
Your faith matters.
Oh, absolutely. My faith is the keystone of my life. So I have absolutely no question where I'm going. And, you know, frankly, I mean, this is going to sound very strange, but, you know, I feel that when I die, from whatever it's going to be an interesting journey because you think of, I think we're here all to make a difference. We're here to learn, we're here to give, we're here to experience life in the good, the bad, the ugly. And no matter how you go, even if it's a painful death, it's still an honorable one. You know, it's still a way to go and leave this planet. You know, I didn't ask to be here, but I'm here, so let's make it a better place while you're here.
You're not super afraid?
No.
Keeps me up at night.
Exactly.
Talking like this scares the hell out of me.
By the way, you want to see something else that'll keep you up at night?
What? Sorry.
Georgette, you want to do this?
Oh no, this is my
All
life.
right, what's the year? Do you know the year or it doesn't even matter? Early 90s?
82.
1982,
Oh,
Vinnie Favale, David Letterman. I don't know what he's a guest. I don't know how they ever let him to do late night at CBS after this. Vinnie Favale, 1982, David Letterman. Go with the clip.
Actually, I don't play guitar. I just brought it for respect. It makes me look sensitive. I don't know an E string from a G string. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. If there's anything that you want, if there's anything we could do, will send it along with love from us to you.
Oh my God! Oh my
Vinny,
God!
I just only have one question. How badly did you want to be on TV?
Actually, that
Would you have done anything to be on TV?
I'm not Lucy.
What is that?
You know, the standard was very low. Late night back then. Well, don't forget, Dave had just started, and it was a 12:30 show, and it was actually a parody of talent shows, and clearly I was a parody.
We're going to ask you something. Late night's changing on CBS a lot, right? Dave's
gonna
gone.
be huge.
Who's the guy coming in?
Stephen Colbert.
The best.
Or will be Colbert.
And the other guy leaving is Ferguson?
Well, we got James Corden replacing Ferguson. James Corden.
Who's the other guy coming in?
James Corden.
You didn't ask me, but that's all right. I got to ask you this. We're doing a series on leadership.
Yes.
We're asking leaders like yourself, the number one leadership lesson you've learned in all your years in business is
listen to the people around you, because sometimes they have better ideas than you have. Don't be insecure, and lead by example, but also you could lead by following.
Love that. Do you mind if we plug the Hereafter?
Yes.
Where's it playing again?
Snapple Theater. Come on.
Snapple Theater, 50th and Broadway. We are on
Frankie.
Broadway. We are on Broadway,
musical.
literally.
What are you in the Catskills?
Hereafter musical.
Sell it, Frankie.
Hereaftermusical.com.
We got to go Bob Fosse jazz hands. So, okay.
Hereaftermusical.com will answer all of your questions.
So, hereafter.com, answer all the...
Hereaftermusical.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez. Whoa. The hereaftermusical.com.
It's going to get ugly.
Okay, listen, wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
I want to thank you that you are so proud and so calm about dying, that you stay up at night thinking about it, and your play is going to help everyone deal with it.
I think so.
Except Vinnie Favale. He's still freaked out.
Physician, heal thyself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Pleasure. Thank you
This
so
was
much.
fun.
This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Virtua, Bloomfield College, PSE&G, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Cohn Resnick, Fedway Associates, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
When you suffer from chronic hip pain, you start counting every step. At Virtua, we practice the most minimally invasive total hip replacement techniques, so you can stop counting and get your life back faster. Take the first step. Contact Virtua today at gotmylifeback.org.